The O's mark their return to football's third tier with some outstanding performances and spectacular goals. But it was a season dominated by injuries. Reynolds' tactical knowledge and understanding enabled the O's to exceed expectations and achieve an 11th place finish. So let's look back on a special campaign. What a wonderful way to start the season. A London derby at Charlton, over 18,000 at the Valley. Sol Bryn, on his O's debut, produced an excellent save to prevent Alfie May from opening his Addicts account. Charlton Athletic broke the deadlock just before the break. Captain George Dobson turning in Blackett-Taylor's cross. In the closing stages, Charlie Pegram came on to make his league debut. And the teenager went so close, his shot too hot for Maynard Brewer to hold. The travelling faithful were magnificent. Despite the result, it felt like a celebration. The O's back where they belong. Not a surprise when Orient were drawn away again at Plymouth in the Cup. White and Azaz both ruled offside. The O's went close. Hayden deflected Tom James's corner against his own post. Omar Beckle's shot against the bar. Dan Happy's header just over. The League One champions took the lead. Beckle's slip seized on by Ben Waine. And the New Zealander doubled the advantage from close range. The testing start continued with Portsmouth in E10. Marlon Pack scored from the first corner of the game. Bishop met White's cross and head home just before the break. White presented further problems after the restart. An awkward cross turned into his own net by Omar Beckles. Yengi scored the fourth from a spot kick after being tripped in the box. At Wickham, Joe Lowe met Leahy's cross. Theo Archibald set up Will Soturio, who made sure a superb strike, Orient's first goal back in League One. But 5 minutes into the second half, Dan Happy sent off. Lowe scored the second of the night, heading home another Leahy cross. With 10 minutes remaining, Taylor grabbed a third. But the O's refused to give up. Soturio shot under the keeper. On the final whistle, Paul Terry and Richie Wellens both saw red. Orient's first point came at the seaside. Sam Howells impressed throughout, defying Lavery. Whilst at the other end, Dan Grimshaw foiled Will Soturio. Joe Piggott fired the loose ball over the bar. The O's had strong appeals for a penalty refused. Piggott clearly pushed. Lavery shot across the face of the O's goal. It was Blackpool's third successive goalless draw. Bright sunshine at Brisbane Road and a sparkling performance against Cambridge. Theo Archibald a constant threat, setting up Jordan Graham, whose shot was blocked. Shaq Ford, who marked his first league start with a coolly taken goal. Archibald latched onto a precise Tom James free kick to secure Orient's victory, which Richie clearly enjoyed. Congratulations, first win back in League One.
Yeah. I knew it was going to be a brilliant day today for two reasons. One, I was on my way to the ground and I seen this young guy about 50s, mid-50s, in a convertible car, pull up at the lights. I looked to my left and I see him just loving life, and I looked across and I thought, what a guy. Do you know who that was, Dave?
In the mid-50s, it's not me, Richie.
Are you older than mid-50s?
Oh, much older than that.
Oh, yeah. Well, you look really well for mid-50s. But I think he's giving it away. That, yeah, I pulled up. I was going to pivot you and wave, but I thought, you know, you're enjoying that sun beaming down on you. So I thought, I'll leave you to it. It's lucky it wasn't a little bit later, wasn't it, with the rain. But
I've had a good day, haven't I? That was a fantastic result.
Yeah, and now I know the reason why, because you've got that rooftop, that convertible. How old are you?
66.
66. You don't look 60. You look unbelievable for 66.
August ended with Oxford United at the top, the O's moving above Charlton, who sustained 4 straight defeats after that opening day win. As a result, Dean Holden became the first managerial casualty in League One. Stevenage came to E10 looking to maintain their impressive start. Charlie McNeil scoring on his debut. A psychological blow dealt by Dan Sweeney just before the break. A dipping half volley from former O's loanee Nick Freeman confirmed Borough's 4th win of the season. After that dramatic night in April, the O's returned to the Priestfield Stadium and it started well. George Moncur's strike hit the post and went in off the back of former O's goalkeeper Glenn Morris. But 2 red cards in 3 minutes saw this EFL trophy match turn against the O's. First Jack Ford and then Brandon Cooper. The 9 men held out until the 80th minute. Shea Alexander spot on. Three minutes later, Omar Beckles turned Masterson's low cross into his own net. The O's refused to give up, Morris making amends, using his feet to foil Idris Omazuni. Will Soturio fired the rebound over the bar. The O's first away win came at Exeter, but it was the Grecians taking the lead in the 48th minute. 16-year-old Jake Richards set up Demi Mitchell. The O's worked hard in the summer heat. Joe Pigott scored Orient's equaliser. Great control and a smart finish, following a delicious cross from Jordan Graham. 2 minutes into stoppage time, another excellent finish from Will Soturio, clearly relishing the challenge of life in League One. Another away day, the O's at Peterborough. Hector Cipriano seized an opportunity to score from close range. The former O didn't celebrate. Omar Beckles got the telling touch for the O's equaliser. The defender, together with Joe Pigott, seeking to get on the end from another tremendous cross from Jordan Graham. Fulham's youngsters came to E10 in the EFL Trophy. Ethan Galbraith giving the O's a 9th-minute lead. The woodwork prevented Aaron Drinan from doubling that advantage. Christian Syriac ensured that the Cottagers were on terms at the break. It was a certain Ollie O'Neill who scored on the hour for the visitors. In the 6th minute of stoppage time, Idris El Mazuni's strike set up a penalty shootout. Which the O's won 5-4 to gain the additional point. Next up, Shrewsbury at Brisbane Road. Solbreen producing 2 excellent saves, using his feet to frustrate Max Natter, and then pushing clear Tom Flanagan's header. Will Soturio's 4th of the season, after a clever assist from Idris El Mazuni, ensured the points for the O's. Lee Johnson had taken charge of Fleetwood. Jay Lynch at full stretch denied Tom James. Against the run of play, Jack Marriott scored. Both sides finished with 10 men. Johnson and Galbraith both receiving second yellow cards. John Mousinho's Portsmouth setting the pace. He was named September's Manager of the Month. Cheltenham yet to score in the league, losing 7 of their opening 8 games. Wade Elliott replaced by Darrell Clark. A tragic night on the 3rd of October. Joe Pigott had scored for the O's, but the match with Lincoln abandoned in the 84th minute following a medical emergency in the crowd. Lifelong Orient supporter Derek Reynolds suffered a cardiac arrest. The following Saturday was emotional. Before the match with Reading, a minute's applause in memory of Derek, whose family and friends demonstrated courage and dignity. Idris El Mazouni, together with Reading's Nelson Abbey, laid wreaths in front of the East Stand where Derek had his season ticket. Jordan Brown fired the O's in front. Nine minutes later, the visitors equalised. Bollard's header hit the post. Tyler Bindon pounced to score from close range. A lively and entertaining game saw the O's grab a 90th minute winner. David Button couldn't hold an awkward corner. Super sub George Moncur scored.
The events of Tuesday was something that's unimaginable really, and you never expect anything like that to happen, but obviously complete shock when it does happen. Whether it's the highs of winning the league last year or it's the lowest of the lows of like Justin a few years ago and Derek, I think we've always stuck together, and we came together on Saturday and it was just a perfect way to celebrate his life.
A long trip to Carlisle saw the O's secure back-to-back wins for the first time since returning to League One. The O's positive from the start. Idris El Mazouni's shot smashed against the bar. Another vital goal from Will Soturio, latching onto an excellent through ball from Joe Pigott. Solbrin, again outstanding, pushing away an awkward long-range effort from Jordan Gibson and reacting quickly after Terrier Blade had created the opportunity. The travelling faithful played their part, out-singing the Cumbrians throughout. And they continued their celebrations long after the final whistle. Barnsley came to E10 having lost their kit. The Tykes coach had previously caught fire. The O's helped by switching to their all-white strip. Ex-O's loanee Jamie McCart handled Soturio's shot in the 27th minute. Joe Pigott stepped up to give the O's an important advantage. But Barnsley were the league's highest goal scorer. Their equaliser came 23 minutes into the second half. Herbie Kane played a neat interchange with Devante Cole before firing home. The O's goal of the season came at Northampton. Rob Hunt completed a move that saw 37 passes, the final one from Will Soturio. Sean McWilliams set up Sam Hoskins. His shot deflected past Bryn. Hoskins' second came from the spot after Graham's foul on Odimeo. The Cobblers down to 10 men. Kieran Bowie sent off for an off-the-ball incident. The O's refused to give up. 6 minutes into additional time, Graham's cross met by Shaq Ford. Orient's first ever visit to Burton Albion produced a goalless draw. Max Crocombe denied Will Soturio. Ethan Galbraith went close. Josh Walker couldn't find the target. In the closing stages, the Brewers keeper reacting quickly to foil Ethan Galbraith. The point at Burton came at a high price. Jordan Graham, who'd been so exciting after joining from Birmingham City, sustained a serious injury, ending his season. Despite the queue for the treatment room, the O's had climbed to 12th, whilst Cheltenham had finally ended an 11-match run without a goal, Street on target at Derby. Attention turned to the cup and the visitor Carlisle. Sam Lavelle's high kick caught Dan Happy. With a cheeky hop, Joe Pigott was spot on. The experienced Joe Garner headed home the visitors' equaliser. Aaron Drynan restored Orient's lead. He was denied a second. A looping header from a Tom James free kick hit the bar. Turio's bursting run and precise shot ensured the O's progressed to the next stage for only the second time in 8 years. Orient's exit from the newly named Bristol Street Motors Trophy confirmed by Portsmouth. Sean Raggett sent off in the 20th minute for bringing down Theo Archibald, but it was the 10 men who took the lead through Christian Sadie. Joe Pigott was a former loanee at Pompey. He took his chance well. But Portsmouth ensured they finished top of the group, Abdul Kamara on target. Craig Short in charge of Oxford after Liam Manning's move to Bristol City. A rare mistake from Sol Bryn, punished by Ruben Rodriguez. Rodriguez' shot then hit the foot of the post, but Bowden reacted first. The U's third came just after the restart. Rodriguez again causing problems, pouncing after the O's struggled to clear the danger from a corner. Orient faced a real test of character. They demonstrated enormous resolve. A dangerous cross from Tom James. Finn Stevens turned into his own net. Brandon Cooper set up Turio, who volleyed home. The O's so close to an equaliser. Another excellent cross from James found Dan Happy. His header hit the post. The return of Lincoln just 6 weeks after the tragic loss of Derek Reynolds was always going to be difficult. The Imps had changed manager, Michael Scubalo in charge for his first game. Joe Pigott went close. City's keeper, Lucas Jensen, produced an excellent save from Ethan Galbraith's powerful drive. The decisive moment came in the 90th minute through Ethan Hamilton, capitalising on the chance created by Sowerson. Wigan's first visit to E10 in 27 years, and they were awarded a penalty in the opening moments, Bryn bringing down Clare, but Stephen Humphrey directed the spot kick against the post. An exciting first half, and a magnificent strike from Shaq Ford after Sotirio had turned provider. Just before the break, Wigan levelled, Humphrey this time on target. Bristol Rovers took the lead just before the half-time cuppa. Grant Ward pounced after Anthony Edwards' free kick had caused problems. In the 93rd minute, Theo Archibald found Dan Happy. Keeper Max Cox fumbled, the ball coming in off Tristan Karma. The O's finished November 16th. It was Bolton on top. They put 7 past poor Exeter City. After a good start, Cambridge had tumbled down the table, leading to Mark Bonner's departure. Heavy snow in South Yorkshire. Volunteers worked hard to ensure that the tie would go ahead. Chesterfield went close. A back heel from Will Grigg, forcing a smart save from Sol Bryn. The winner, an own goal. Idris Omazuni's attempted clearance, deflecting the ball beyond Bryn's reach. Dan Ajayi came off the bench to test Ryan Root. Another upset for the National League leaders. The O's returned to league action against informed Derby. Louis Sibley opened up the O's defence, and it got worse. Brandon Cooper received a straight red card, elbowing James Collins. Two minutes after the restart, Magnus Lang doubled the advantage. In the 80th minute, Magnus Lang combined well with Barkhuizen to counter from an Orient corner. It was the Rams' fifth straight win. Cheltenham's Ben Williams received 2 yellow cards in the opening 18 minutes. But it was the 10 men who went in front from the spot. Pratley tripped Ferry, Will Godwin scored. Late drama saw Shaq Ford's shot going in off Sean Long. And in the 4th minute of additional time, Ethan Galbraith's strike was deflected past Southwood. A fighting response after a dreadful start against informed Bolton. Greece Cogley scored after just 3 minutes. Dion Charles on target, his 16th of the season. The Northern Ireland international turned provider for George Thomason. Reynolds acted, his side responded. Shaq Ford scored in the 55th minute. Theo Archibald simply too quick for the Wanderers defenders. 5 minutes later, Ford with the assist. A simply brilliant strike from Archibald. It was the last match before Christmas. The O's supporting St Joseph and Havens House Hospice.
I've just been explained that they have it's £14 million per year to run, and they have to actually make 50% of that, so £7 million per year. So the more we can put them words and that thing out there, if it means that some people put some money towards that 7 million, all good. And for Leighton Orient, it's something that we want to be associated with, because you know, when you get in something like this that's there for the elderly, people that need the care towards the end of life, I think that's massively important.
Obviously, the word hospice, you automatically think that maybe it's negative, but to come and really see behind the scenes the positivity that is spread here is so good. And obviously for us it's one of the best parts of the job, so to be able to come and see what happens behind the scenes and to see how hard people are working here for the children is really good.
It doesn't get better than a London derby for Boxing Day. Charlton Athletic at Brisbane Road. Ken Campbell tested Sol Bryn. Substitute Dan Ajayi had only been on for 2 minutes. He delivered the telling cross which Omar Beckles swept in. An outstanding save by Sol Bryn denied Blackett-Taylor.
Buzzing with the 3 points. Yeah, I guess for me, I've been out for like 2 months, and I guess I'm just properly enjoying just being back again. Yeah, I guess we had to be disciplined over the Christmas period. Couldn't have too much Christmas pudding. But yeah, happy to get 3 points and go back home, and I'll definitely be tucking in some food tonight, that's for sure.
2023 has been a wonderful year for the O's. The final match against Wycombe, Joe Lowe cleared Shaq Ford's shot off the line. Chairboys keeper Max Sterich produced 2 outstanding saves. Nigh in first, Tom James. and then Shackford. The year finished with the O's in 13th place. Neil Harris now in charge at Cambridge United, where the O's started the new year. A dipping left foot shot from Theo Archibald smashed against the bar. Nine minutes into the second half, Okadina struggled to clear Max Sanders' corner. His mistake punished by Jordan Brown. And it got worse for the beleaguered United defender, dispossessed by Dan Ajayi, who scored his first goal for the O's. What a way to start 2024. And it got better at leaders Portsmouth. The O's positive from the start. Their deadlock shattered on the half-hour mark. A lovely interchange between Max Sanders and Shackford, who took his chance so well. 5 minutes later, a goal-mouth scramble, a vital touch from Jordan Brown. A huge moment in the game came in the 40th minute. Sparks caught by Ford. Bishop's spot kick wasn't the best, but Solbrin's save so vital. Dan Ajayi on target again from Theo Archibald's in-swinging corner. It would be Pompey's last defeat of the season.
And then we've obviously beat Cheltenham and Charlton and Cambridge, and then obviously come in here, which is a tough game, a tough environment, but an environment that we've learnt from in the Bolton game and took it. I thought I 1-2-11 today, and then the subs that came on, everyone contributed, everyone was excellent, and the work rate was brilliant as well.
Another of the division's big clubs, and another massive performance and result from Richie Wellens' men. Dion Charles was Wanderers' leading marksman. He directed a free header against the post. Dan Ajayi went desperately close before demonstrating his power, pace and accuracy. An important save from Solbrin denied Charles and earned a fifth successive clean sheet, but it was another red card for the O's boss. Orient had won 4 out of 5 when they travelled to a much improved Reading side, who only lost 2 of their previous 11. In the 19th minute, Tom Holmes handled Orsaturio's cross. Dan Ajayi displayed confidence as he put away the resulting spot kick, his 4th goal in 4 games. The Royals' equaliser came 4 minutes later. Harvey Nibbs met Charlie Savage's corner. It was the first goal that the O's had conceded in 553 minutes. The O's 10th, and the faithful daring to dream of the playoffs. Brandon Cooper had returned to E10, this time on a permanent basis. Ollie O'Neill signed a 2-year deal from Fulham, having impressed Martin Ling when playing at Brisbane Road in the EFL Trophy. And 2 young strikers joined on loan. Kyan Edwards from Arsenal, Daniel Adu-Ajayi from AFC Bournemouth. Orient's injury problems continued. Dan Ajayi sustained a hamstring problem at Reading. He missed the visit of strugglers Carlisle, who took the lead in the 21st minute. Omar Beckle's clearance hit Josh Vella. The O's turned the match around before the break. George Moncur found Shackford. The shot went beyond Harry Lewis. In the 4th minute of additional time, Ford struck again, after Jordan Brown had flicked on Theo Archibald's corner. The 8th of the season for the teenage Watford loanee. Theo's vision set up Orsa. In the 5th minute of additional time, Brown handled in the area, but Sean Maguire's penalty would have offered little consolation for the visitors, who sustained a 5th straight defeat. Port Vale had sacked Andy Crosby the day before Leyton Orient's visit. David Dunn named interim manager, but left just a few hours before kick-off, so 3 youth team coaches stepped up to take charge. Orsaturio's shot hit the bar. But the O's resolve earned its reward on the hour. Tom James' assist for Idris El-Mazouni to score. Connor Ripley denied Roy Soturio, but those injury problems continued, Theo Archibald sustaining a serious knee injury requiring an operation. Ollie O'Neill's first league start was at 4th place Barnsley. George Moncur back to his best, setting up Roy Soturio in the 10th minute. But in the 88th minute, the Tykes equalised, Phillips getting behind the O's defence. Luca Connell then saw red. But it was the 10 men who snatched the late winner, Phillips meeting O'Keefe's free kick. The O's response magnificent, a night to savour under the lights in E10. Ollie O'Neill scoring his first for the O's. Mark Leonard with Northampton's equaliser. The second half a thriller. O'Neill's shot pushed into the path of Shaq Ford. Kieran Bowie drew the Cobblers level once more. O'Neill again involved. The O's restored their lead. A clever corner, a precise cross, a glancing header from super sub Roy Soturio, his 10th of the season. Again, Northampton hit back. Simpson turning inside the area. Delight in E10, deep into added time. A wonderful strike from Soturio after a clever assist from Brandon Cooper. A match that those fortunate enough to be at the Gale Group Stadium will never forget.
Oh, sorry, Dave. You've not plugged the not plugged the mic in. Look at this. I feel embarrassed all doing this. Brilliant night, brilliant performance. Full of young, talented players. Exciting, speed, energy.
Strugglers Burton Albion, first visit to Brisbane Road. The O's took the lead. Bowler brought down Ford. George Moncur spot on. The O's on top, but couldn't add to the advantage and paid a high price. Helm found Bennett in the 72nd minute. 4 minutes later, the Sunner scored from close range. O'Neill and Soturio combined, but they couldn't find a way through. Orient's response was impressive, although it was fellow playoff chasing Oxford who went in front, Tyler Goodwin turning in Rodriguez's cross. An incisive move created the opening for Ollie O'Neill, Idris El-Mazouni with the assist. And it was O'Neill who found George Moncur, who displayed skill and ambition. There was a harsh red card for Richie Reynolds. Ollie O'Neill again outstanding. Against Blackpool, his low cross finding Jordan Brown. Roy Soturio's pass set up O'Neill, who fired home his third for the O's. A powerful solo run from the O's leading marksman, but Dan Grimshaw denied Soturio. The month ended with the O's 8th, just 5 points off the playoffs. A tremendous achievement when you consider the injury problems that Richie Wellens had to manage. Portsmouth beginning to establish an important gap at the top of the table. Only goal difference separates Derby and Bolton, whilst Reading had finally climbed out of the drop zone. A frustrating afternoon for the O's, who dominated, but it was Bristol Rovers who took the lead. Anthony Evans' free kick met with the slightest of touches from Chris Martin. A match when Leyton Orient forced 17 corners, one of which saw James Wilson elbow Brandon Cooper. He received a straight red card from referee Darren Drysdale. But the 10 men held out, thanks to the reflexes of keeper Jed Ward, frustrating first Max Sanders, and then Joe Piggott. The O's first visit to the DW Stadium. Callum McManaman's pace created the opening for Josh McGuinness. Omar Beckles to the rescue. Before half-time, Ethan Galbraith picked up 2 yellow cards in the space of just 13 minutes, both for fouls against fellow Northern Ireland international Jordan Jones, who clearly didn't want his teammate to be sent off. 17 minutes remaining, Johnny Smith's cross met by Jason Kerr for the Latics winner. Both the O's and Port Vale needed a win, but for very different reasons. Leighton Orient had strong penalty appeals refused. Ford desperately close with a left foot strike. Connor Ripley at full stretch to tip Ford's shot to safety. And in the closing stages, Will Soturio came off the bench, his blistering strike cannoned off the bar. The O's playoff ambitions given a much needed boost. A professional performance and an impressive victory at Stevenage. The decisive moment came in the 16th minute. Max Sanders on target after he found space for himself inside the penalty area. Sanders then set up Ford, who went so close. Borough's top goal scorer Jamie Reid got the ball into the back of the net, but referee Craig Higgs had seen handball by Jordan Roberts.
Nick Freeman tested Sol Bryn.
Stevenage out of the playoff places. Good Friday saw 2 of the division's form sides meet at Sincil Bank. Ollie O'Neill's header just over the bar. The O's applied pressure. Lucas Jensen at full stretch to turn away Ethan Galbraith's long-range drive. It looked to be heading to a draw, but in the last minute, substitute Javon McCarmer pounced to snatch the late winner for the Imps. At the end of March, the O's 10th, but Idris El Mazuni's injury at Lincoln another massive blow. The Imps moving into the playoff places, unbeaten in 14, winning 9 of their last 11, keeping 10 clean sheets and scoring 17 in 7 games. What a transformation under Michael Skubala. Port Vale were early leaders. They're now in the relegation places. On Easter Monday, Peterborough came to the Goran Group Stadium needing a win to stay in the race for automatic promotion. And it was the visitors who took an early lead. Sol Bryn failed to hold Harrison's cross. Hector Cipriano once again on hand to score against his old club. Mason Clark scored his 19th of the campaign, an untidy affair which doubled the lead for the division's top goal scorers. Orient hit back. A great strike from Ethan Galbraith. The fingertips of Jed Steer prevented the 23-year-old from grabbing an equaliser. Dan Ajayi couldn't direct his header on target. The O's victory over Cheltenham produced 3 contenders for the Goal of the Season prize. A sublime strike from Ethan Galbraith. A sensational curling shot from Ollie O'Neill. And a brilliant long-range drive from Will Soturio. Joe Nuttall's late goal would do little to help Cheltenham's fight for survival. Exeter in E10 Ollie O'Neill on target again, this time straight from a corner. The first Orient player to achieve that since Matt Lockwood at Southend 19 years ago. O'Neill then turned provider, dispossessing Tom Carroll, setting up George Moncur. The game changed when Brandon Cooper was injured. Orient had used all 5 substitutes and the 10 men conceded in the 88th minute. Malik Ali heading home. In stoppage time, ex-Lowe's loanee Tom Carroll made amends for his earlier error. A huge deflection beating Sol Bryn. Over 30,000 for Leyton Orient's first ever visit to Derby's Pride Park. All 3 of the Rams' goals came from corners.
First came Wilson from Mangus Lane's set piece.
And then Louis Sibley found Sonny Bradley. Bradley rose again in the 85th minute. County on course for promotion. Fleetwood still hadn't given up hope. When they arrived in E10, Ethan Galbraith went desperately close. Sol Bryn pushed away Carl Johnson's diving header. Ollie O'Neill had the faithful cheering and anticipation. Xavier Simon's stoppage time goal, not enough. Burton's win over Reading meant that the Cod Army were relegated. The O's signed off in style. Dan Ajayi squared the ball for Daniel Aduajay to score his first league goal. A magnificent through ball from Tom James put Ethan Galbraith through for his 5th of the campaign. Galbraith then turned provider for Dan Ajayi, a surging run into the box. Danado pulled one back for the Shrews. At the end, the faithful expressed their appreciation to the players. Richie Wellens had allowed Matt Howell to take charge. A thank you to the man who as a player and coach achieved so much for the O's.
And personally, Matt, those 7 years, 2 promotions, 2 titles. There's not many Leyton Orient players and coaches that can say that. What are your personal highlights?
I think personal highlights would be, so obviously winning the leagues, but I think the big thing for me was with about 2 months probably to go of the National League season. I didn't really see myself staying. I thought my playing time was limited, but I just made a decision to kind of do everything I can to finish the season strong. I didn't allow myself to kind of be negative anyway, just keep going, and I think it just shows what you can do when you have that mindset. So kind of finished the season that year scoring some important goals and having some important moments, and then I've gone on, and I suppose I'm quite proud of the fact I've just kind of attacked every role I've been in and managed to be half successful at the same time. Met a load of great people along the way. You know, I've got some relationships and some people I'll be friends for life with, and I think they're the main things. Like it's the moments, isn't it? I talk about it all the time. I get taken a mickey out of, but these are the moments you want, and they're the ones that will stay with me.
Absolutely, and you finish in style, Matt. Congratulations. Thank you for all you've achieved with the O's, and we wish you every success in the Premier League.
No. Thank you, Dave. No, I really appreciate it. Cheers, guys.
An 11th place finish, a real achievement in a season dominated by so many injuries. And congratulations to Ethan Galbraith. 3 awards: Orient's Supporters Club Star Man, the Manager's Player of the Season, and the Players' Player of the Season. So many highlights. young supporters home and away, watching Leyton Orient putting on a show.